With a huge WrestleMania match seemingly set and more, this is Wrestling Hub. My name is John, and you're watching the Wrestling Report. Before we move on, make sure you subscribe to Wrestling Rambles with notifications on, and don't forget to like the video. The American Corporate Partners is a non-profit focused on mentoring veterans and active duty spouses. WWE star, who is a part of the U.S. Marines, is the first pro athlete registered to be a mentor, as it was said that WWE, part of TKO Group Holdings, today announced a new partnership with American Corporate Partners, ACP, a national nonprofit organization dedicated to empowering returning veterans and active duty spouses through one-on-one professional development mentorship programs. As part of the partnership, WWE superstar and former United States Marine Montez Ford will become the first professional athlete to serve as a registered mentor for ACP. WWE has a long-standing history of supporting our nation's active service members, veterans, and their families, said WWE superstar Montez Ford, who served in the U.S. Marines from 2008 until 2012. It is an honor to represent WWE as a part of this partnership with ACP and its outstanding mentorship program. Launched in 2008, ACP personally pairs applicants with a hand-picked mentor based on career compatibility, experience level, location, and personal interests. Today, more than 30,000 veterans and spouses have completed their ACP mentorship, which includes access to resume building and interview preparation, career exploration, networking opportunities, small business development, and leadership and professional communication resources. All of us at ACP are excited to begin our partnership with WWE, said Sidney E. Goodfriend, chairman of ACP. Frequently, our post-9/11 veteran proteges seek career guidance in the field of entertainment, and we are delighted to be able to provide them with mentors from a top leader in the industry. With AEW Revolution set to take place on March 3rd, this was said regarding Will Ospreay being on the card. As Dave Meltzer pointed out in the Wrestling Observer newsletter, Ospreay is scheduled for Revolution in Greensboro and will be starting as a regular on television in February. Posting a clip from their return to WWE in 2016, Bully Ray teased the Dudley Boys having one last run. Touching on facing off against the likes of Cody Rhodes and CM Punk, Drew McIntyre said to review STL, "I hope so. That's two of our top superstars in WWE. Obviously, Cody returned to WWE a couple of years ago and had a big injury, took him out for 9 months, but he has really risen to the top of the card as a crowd favorite. CM Punk is the most controversial guy in wrestling for sure. He made his return. Seems very positive right now. The crowd is certainly very positive. He's a huge star. I'm going to keep prodding at him and see if he cracks. Hopefully, if he doesn't, he gets in the ring with me and I'll physically crack him. Easy peasy." Arguing that the negative perception to his Control Your Narrative promotion had to do with sabotage, EC3 told the Insight podcast, "What is a professional wrestler's #1 job? This is an Al Snow question. To get attention, right? It's about getting attention, and yeah, there's good attention and there's bad attention. It, Control Your Narrative, received bad attention, but that attention was all based on frivolous lies and people trying to sabotage something before it even started. Because in theory, we did make some strong waves and provided something unique where once you became a threat in the industry, you are sought to be destroyed before you grow." As Kenny Omega is set to be out of action from AEW due to diverticulitis, Dave Meltzer added in the Wrestling Observer newsletter regarding Kenny Omega's health. Due to the inflammation being so bad, he couldn't have surgery at the time and as of last week still hadn't had it. The decision will be made in about 7 weeks based on his healing, on whether he'll need surgery or not, but if he does, that would put him out of action significantly longer. There is no time frame on when he will return at this point. Speaking of surgery, Charlotte Flair recently underwent a procedure on her knee as she revealed she is back in the gym 2 weeks after the operation, posting this video. Asked if he has any interest in joining AEW down the line, former WWE star Nic Nemeth told WrestleBinge, "I am very focused on New Japan and TNA right now. I've seen a few different people on both of those rosters that I am blown away with, not doing moves, being awesome at wrestling. Some of them have bigger names, and some of them don't have a name that's really well known all over the world yet. There's a handful, there's 1 or 2 in Japan, and there's 5 or 6 at TNA that I've been watching very closely. I famously don't watch wrestling, but I have been following and going, this person is one big break away from being the next up-and-coming thing. How can I help them, but also make the show awesome? I sit here almost like an accountant going over numbers and stuff. How can I make this a bigger deal? How can I make TNA 1% even better than it already is? Here's how. Here's what I should do. Here's the way to go, and I'm going to prove it to everybody. I'm excited because I've been sitting around for 6 months going, when the hell do I get to start wrestling again? I feel fantastic. I'm in the best shape of my life. I've done 20 straight years with 3 TVs that I've missed. That is unparalleled. I'm going to continue this. I might wrestle for 20 more. For an update on Austin Theory and Carmelo Hayes following their Spanish Fly attempt in the ring last week, the Wrestling Observer newsletter said, Theory and Hayes were both hurt on a spot on the January 12th SmackDown show in Lincoln, Nebraska. Theory gave Hayes a downward spiral off the ropes and both landed badly. Theory ended up with a concussion and Hayes was shaken up, but Hayes was able to wrestle on NXT on Tuesday in the tag match. It was recently announced that Kazuchika Okada will be leaving New Japan Pro Wrestling, and now many are thinking he will be heading to All Elite Wrestling. As the Wrestling Observer newsletter noted, it was believed that AEW has made the stronger first offer to Kazuchika Okada, but no contract has been signed yet. When it comes to a reason why Okada is leaving NJPW, it was said on the Bryan and Vinny show that he'd been thinking about leaving once and then he had a meeting with New Japan and he wasn't thinking about leaving anymore. And it wasn't because he was offered a lot of money. I don't know exactly what he was making, but people today were like, this is the most underpaid, greatest wrestler of all time. So whatever he was making, if you compare it to what the top stars are making in America today, he's grossly underpaid in New Japan. He's done a lot of shows in AEW and don't think he doesn't know what they're making there. They're making a lot of money. Tony Khan did a tweet today and he talked about how it's going to be an amazing year for AEW in 2024, and it's certainly believed that AEW is the front runner for Okada, that he will likely end up in AEW, but I can tell you he's going to be negotiating with many different people. So I would not say it's a lock that he's going to AEW, but I would say it's very likely he's going to AEW, but it's not like WWE ain't throwing a lot of money around, and it's not like WWE ain't got interest in Okada. Trust me, they have interest to the point that Shinsuke Nakamura kept saying he was going to bring chaos to WWE. Things like that are not a coincidence. It's like when he did that GTS for a few weeks. That was right around the time they were negotiating with CM Punk. Then everything with Punk fell through and he stopped doing the GTS. Then negotiations started up again, and CM Punk returned at Survivor Series. It is no coincidence that Nakamura has talked about chaos, and there is a chance that Okada would end up in WWE, but it seems very likely that he's going to AEW. Sticking with Okada, this was said regarding him potentially signing with WWE, as Sports Illustrated wrote. There is also significant interest from WWE, specifically from Paul Triple H Levesque and Shawn Michaels, Sports Illustrated has confirmed. While it is difficult to procure information from Okada's camp, multiple sources close to NJPW revealed that he has always wanted to perform at a WrestleMania. Levesque is aware of this, and has the right opponents, specifically AJ Styles and Finn Balor, who have pre-existing relationships with Okada and would both be perfect for Okada's debut if he were to wrestle at WrestleMania 40. Revealing a match that will take place at WrestleMania this year, Ringside News wrote that in the latest edition of the Wrestling Observer newsletter, Dave Meltzer confirmed that the plan for WrestleMania is a match between CM Punk and Seth Rollins. Rollins currently does not have a match booked for the upcoming Royal Rumble event, and even if he did, it is likely he would not be wrestling due to an injury suffered while facing Jinder Mahal on Raw. given his recent injury that took place on Raw, Seth Rollins was pulled from live event matches for this weekend. Now, it's been advertised that he will be at an event for WWE next month, as it was said that Rupp Arena is proud to host this live televised event on February 12th, 2024. Join amazing wrestlers like WWE World Heavyweight Champion Seth freaking Rollins, the American Nightmare Cody Rhodes, WWE Women's World Champion Rhea Ripley, main event Jey Uso, Sami Zayn, Drew McIntyre, and Kofi Kingston, plus many more. Card is subject to change. Asked if he plans on taking part in the 2024 Royal Rumble match, Jinder Mahal told WWE India, "I'm gonna try my best. The way the year 2024 has been going, I feel like I can win it, but I'm trying my best to be in it. Let's make noise. Let's get the WWE Universe to tweet, get on social media, tag Triple H, let's tag WWE, let's make it happen. Let's either get myself or one of Indu, Cher, Veer, or Sangha at least in the Royal Rumble. One of us. India needs to be represented in the Royal Rumble. So guys, let's make some noise. Let's make it happen." Continuing to air his grievances with AEW's booking of him, Jeff Hardy posted this the other day on Instagram, writing, "Thank you, North Charleston, South Carolina, and TWTWBW, the dimension of AEW Rampage tomorrow night. I apologize to the locals. This match should have been advertised last week, in my opinion. Oh well, some people feel the rain, others just get wet." Previously, Randy Orton said this regarding his return to WWE at Survivor Series. For a month prior, there were all these rumors online that I was coming back, but there were also rumors online that CM Punk was coming back. Instead of it being a surprise that it was me instead of Punk, they let everyone know the week prior. It kind of let the wind out of my sails a little bit. CM Punk has now responded to this, posting a bear hugging another bear. Touching on her release from WWE, Dana Brooke felt a sense of relief telling Busted Open Radio, "The moment I got the call that I was being released was when the feeling of freedom hit me. I'm not going to lie to you. It was the moment I got the phone call, and I will never forget. It was Thursday that I received the phone call, and previously I'd say that Monday or Tuesday I had gotten a call that I was going to be booked for a pay-per-view for NXT. So when I had got that phone call, it was a bit of confusion at first. I'm like, wait a second, I was just told I'm working Sunday. But you know what? It's fine, because I felt a sigh of relief and freedom. I can't describe this feeling of a weight lifted off of my shoulders of like, wow, I can control my own destiny, and that was something that I was battling with for quite some time, because I felt as though, man, in my entire life, ever since I was a little girl, I was controlling my destiny. If I wanted to take gymnastics at that next level, I did. Fitness and bodybuilding, if you don't bust your butt, you're not going to get the results that you want. And I was grinding, and then I got to a point within WWE, which is amazing platform to inspire and touch millions of people around the world, but you're like this, you're controlled and you cannot explore freedom, and that's something that I was yearning for. I wanted that control of, I control my own destiny. I want to get out there and I want to empower women on my own and not be told, hey, you're booked to go here this weekend. You have a dot on your calendar. You have to go here. You have to do this. This is what you're doing on TV. This is what you're doing on this appearance. You're needed at NXT. And I got comfortable, and I feel as though that was the scary thing coming out of all of this was, man, okay, this is really happening and I need to go and get it. And it was a blessing in disguise, because my parents, I'm very close to my family, and they're like, Ash, you're going to make it. Do not think that WWE defines you as a person, because it doesn't. You define yourself. And that really touched me. And from that moment that I got the call, and you best believe it, after I got off the phone, I started getting on it and hustling to see where was the best fit for me, because I knew it was not the time to hang up my boots, and WWE was not going to be the one to tell me when I'm stopping my career. So TNA was the perfect fit. It was everything that I was looking for. Talking with Tommy Dreamer and Gail Kim was the best, and they made me feel like this is the place to be. This is where I can explore freedom and opportunity all in one. Going over a new signing for All Elite Wrestling, it was noted in the Wrestling Observer newsletter that Brian Keith has signed a deal with AEW. Whether it's a full-time or per-show deal isn't confirmed. Discussing his WWE comeback, Carlito told Alex McCarthy of Daily Mail, "One thing led to another, was it 13 years to get back? It was a long process, but I think everything happened at the right time. Everything was in different parts. First Bad Bunny, then Puerto Rico, the Rumble before that, and then LWO. Everything kind of just meshed together and just worked out perfectly. The 2021 Royal Rumble appearance was during COVID, so there was no audience there. That was a little different. It was weird coming out to just a bunch of screams in the background, but just having seen the reaction after all that, online generally positive comments, that's when I kind of started thinking, okay, maybe. The LWO thing was just the opening at the time. The beginning was just the overall feeling of wanting to come back to and having the desire to come back, stuff I could do, and knowing exactly what I want to do." Speaking about his future as a part of WWE, John Cena said this to People: "I turned 47 this past year and I don't have much time left in the WWE. I'm trying to figure out when to close that chapter. I wouldn't be who I am, professionally or personally, without the WWE, and I promised myself that I would never simply just be there for my own sake. Every time I perform, I want to give my all to the audience. And I've got to admit, when I hit the 45 mark, I had to begin to try to form an exit strategy, and I'm trying to work on that currently. I just want to do what's best for the company. If it's a big final match, or if it's just a final match, or however I can be integrated into the product to let everyone know that this chapter is over, I'm willing to listen to what WWE has to say. I do have almost 2.5 decades of wisdom built up where I think I can offer a mentor perspective for sure. So if I am not integrated within the WWE family moving forward and in perpetuity, then I think it's a waste for everyone involved." Asked about the drug testing protocol within WWE, LA Knight said this on the Kyle and Jackie O show: "You can't use steroids." Yeah, because that would actually make recovery easy, but no, every month we get tested, every single month. Recalling a spot in a match from AEW Dynamite on January 10th where he was tossed by Hobbs and Takeshita, Darby Allin said this to KSDK: "The thing with AEW is you can expect the unexpected. I mean that. I'm not just trying to sell anything. Every week there is crazy shenanigans going on. Last week I almost broke my neck. This week we have so much crazy stuff. Literally, it's something different every week. We don't play it safe. I was in town, I saw this arch, and I kind of want to jump off of it." When it comes to what is next for Dark Side of the Ring, Dave Meltzer said in the Wrestling Observer newsletter that for the new season of Dark Side of the Ring, we know of these episodes: Brutus Beefcake, Harley Race, Buff Bagwell, Kurt Angle, Chris Adams, Sandman, and Black Saturday, when Vince McMahon purchased Georgia Championship Wrestling to get access to the TBS time slot in 1984. Revealing a health issue that nearly led to the loss of his leg, R-Truth told the Ringer Wrestling show, "I had a hole in my knee. I had 5 different bacteria that caused the infection, along with MRSA, staph, and their cousins and kinfolks. It started off as a routine quad tear. I tore my bottom quad. They went in, and I guess it could have happened during surgery. I went to get the stitches out, and we found out that the bacteria, the infection, was eating from the inside out, so that's where the hole came from. The doctor said, we got to get this under control. If we can't get this under control, I'm going to have to think of options." He was straight shooting with me. He said, "You're in the woods big time. We have to get this under control." It would not heal. Then I had to go 3 months. I had to have a wound vac on. It was a vac on my knee that kept sucking the old blood up and putting the new blood, all that stuff. Like I had to wear that for 6 weeks all along with a PICC line that I had to have for 8 weeks. I did that, and once all that was over with, the stitches started coming out on their own. So I had stitches coming coming out of my knee by itself, so my body wasn't agreeing to it, so I had to get surgery for a third time, and the infection was still there, so I had to get another PICC line as well. It was a good 4 months or 5 months of just trying to kill the infection, slow it down, stop it, and I'm going mentally crazy because there was a chance, he said, the other option was amputation. You know what I'm saying? So to go from doing the 24/7 stuff, running around, doing things with my kids, to NXT, me and Grayson Waller tearing it down and doing things to stopping, and then getting told this, it was a big reality check, man. It was a pump the brakes moment. Given all the reports of Seth Rollins being injured during his match against Jinder Mahal on Raw, it seems this will be talked about next week, as WrestleVotes noted. I'm told the plan, as of now, is for Seth Rollins to address his health and future as World Heavyweight Champion this Monday Night Raw. And this was your pro wrestling news update. I hope you're all having a great day. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see y'all later.